G'day, Andrew Murray from Apartment Specialists, talking about Auckland apartment sales. Specifically today, should you use your family lawyer when purchasing an apartment? Now the question is a big no, unless if that lawyer has had a lot of expertise with unit titles, which are apartments. And I find in so many cases, whether you're selling or buying, that is not the case. Often I'll have, for example, and I don't mean to be arrogant in any way, but it's like, okay, if you ask me to sell your house, I'd say no, because I specialise in apartments, that's all I do, that's what I'm best at. If you ask me to sell your house in Christchurch, I'd definitely say no. If you ask me to sell your house in Australia, I'd say no. Yet, well, I have lawyers coming in and telling me how an apartment is, or what a lease is, or the rules of selling a unit title property, who live in areas where there are no apartments. So they've probably dealt with one or two apartments in their life. So they don't have the expertise. It's not that they're not smart, it's just they're not the best person for the job. So what we do is on either side we recommend lawyers, and you can have a whole list who specialise just in apartments. Because I've seen so many deals fall over and so much extra work be created by all. You also need to realise that with lawyers that don't specialise in apartments, the lawyers aren't actually doing the conveyancing work, which is what it's called. Their legal executives are. It's a bread and butter work. The lawyers aren't doing the work to sell your property. They're getting someone else to, who doesn't even have a law degree in most cases. So if they're not an expert in apartments, i.e. they don't do many of them, that law clerk or that legal exec would likely have no idea. And it makes everybody's job much more difficult. And I've seen people lose on both sides tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes because of that. Either because a buyer working for a seller hasn't been able to do their job to convince the buyer's lawyer to get over certain problems they have, or vice versa, where the purchaser's lawyer has found it too hard, can't figure it out, doesn't actually want to spend time on it, so it's easy to say, oh, don't go there. And I've spoken to people years afterwards going, oh, I wish I bought that property. So what I would do is, yes, keep the relationship with your family lawyer for everything. That's who you trust. But then choose a lawyer, whether through a recommendation from us or anybody else who's actually done a lot of apartments, because they're very different. You know, I hope that helps. So I came across quite strongly about that, because it's very frustrating from my side, especially when you see disappointed people on either sides, whether they're purchasing or selling their apartment. Anyway, talk soon. Cheers.